The 855 multi-channel microwave signal generator is a new product from Berkeley Nucleonics. The multi-output system offers 2, 4, or 8 channels in a single package with phase-coherent outputs, ultra-fast switching, low phase noise, and synchronized sweep capability. The 855 is controlled by a BNC supplied GUI. It is also Skippy compatible, and so you can write your own software. The GUI is provided free for life and is constantly upgraded. From the Control tab, we can see the detected devices and ask the GUI to scan for additional instruments. Once we go into network configuration, we can set the IP parameters for each device. You can see here 2 Model 845s and 1 855 are connected. Under the device name personalization, you can give a device a customized name. This helps for recall and for saving setups. Now we'll move to the CW tab. Because we're connected to a 2-channel unit, we'll have to select channel 1 or 2 from the main window. Then select the frequency, the power, and the phase for channel 1. Also from this window, you can turn RF on or off and turn modulation on or off. Let's now move to the Sweep tab. From the Sweep tab, you'll see a submenu with 4 additional items: frequency sweep, power sweep, list sweep, and sync sweep. From the frequency sweep menu, set the start and stop frequencies. Also set the number of points and dwell time, the way you want the device to sweep. Linear, logarithmic, or random linear, random logarithmic, and also the number of repetitions. And finally, from this menu, turn on your RF signal and run your sweep. Now let's take a look at the Power Sweep tab. Power Sweep allows you to set the start and stop power similar to frequency. If you need to sweep a predefined value or power, use the list mode. You can import a list to and from the device. You can also save lists in memory and actually edit your list in the editor inside the GUI. On the list editor, enter the frequency, power, and dwell time and off time and press send. The Model 855 RAM, you can also store the list as a CSV file and retrieve it later. Our synchronized sweeping functionality with up to 8 channels offers unprecedented capability in microwave test. Start by going to the Sync tab and open Settings. In the settings, you'll see frequency setup for each channel. Down below the frequency settings is a sweep channel menu where you can pick the channels you'd like to sweep. In our example, we have a 2-channel unit. If this were an 8-channel unit, you'd have options 1 through 8. Once the channel parameters are set for each channel, simply toggle the Synchronized Sweep icon to start your test. Let's take a look at modulation. On the Modulation tab, you can either use an external pulse source or use an internal pulse generator as your modulator. Once you've selected modulation, you will set your pulse rep rate and pulse width. You can also select either pulse modulation or pulse train. The pulse train editor. When pulse train is selected, you can define your pulse train by either selecting to show bits or show the hex values. Let's move to the Reference tab. In the Reference tab, you can set your 855 to synchronize from an internal or external clock. Externally, 10 MHz, 100 MHz, or 1 gig. Here you can enable the reference output as well at 10 MHz or 100 MHz. Now let's take a look at the Trigger tab. This is where you set your trigger mode, your trigger source, and all your trigger parameters. You can also set the trigger output if it's selected on the LF Out tab. Finally, let's talk a little bit about the LF Out tab. The LF is a low frequency generator. This is a useful tool for basic waveforms. It's capable of putting out sine, triangle, and square wave when the LF generator is selected. This concludes our overview. Please contact us for details.